You train chest on Monday, and you don't touch it again until next Monday. 7 days of silence, 7 days where that muscle just sits there doing nothing. You call it a rest day. Your body calls it an opportunity you're wasting. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The bro split, chest Monday, back Tuesday, shoulders Wednesday, arms Thursday, legs Friday if you don't skip it, was never designed for you. It was designed in the 1960s and 70s by bodybuilders who were on enough gear to recover from anything. You are not one of those men, and training like them is why you've been stuck at the same weight on the bar for over a year. Today, I'm going to show you the biology of muscle protein synthesis, why once a week is leaving massive gains on the table, and the exact way to restructure your split so every muscle grows faster without adding a single hour to your week. Stay with me, because the fix isn't more time in the gym, it's a completely different way of spending the time you already have.
The muscle building window you're wasting. Here's the part almost nobody explains correctly. When you train a muscle, you don't grow it in the gym. You damage it in the gym. You grow it in the 24 to 48 hours after. That growth window is called muscle protein synthesis. It's your body repairing and rebuilding the muscle fibers you just tore. And here's the number that changes everything. Research consistently shows elevated muscle protein synthesis from a single training session lasts roughly 24 to 48 hours in trained lifters. After that window closes, the growth signal fades back down to baseline. Now, do the math on a once-a-week split. You train chest on Monday. The growth window is open for about 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 full days where your chest isn't growing. It's just sitting there, fully recovered, completely capable of being trained again, and you're not training it. You're paying for 7 days of gym membership and only using 2 of them for every muscle. That's not a training program. That's a 5-day vacation for the exact muscle you're trying to build. So if the growth window is only 48 hours, you'd assume the fix is obvious. Train each muscle twice a week instead of once. But here's where it gets interesting, because simply doubling the frequency isn't enough on its own. There's a volume mistake almost everyone makes the moment they try this, and it's the reason some men try higher frequency training and actually get worse results.
The bro split problem. Why the bro split feels right but works wrong. The bro split feels satisfying. You walk into the gym, you annihilate one muscle group for an hour. 12 sets, 15 sets. You leave unable to lift your arms. You feel like you accomplished something. That soreness feels like proof. Sore equals worked. Worked equals growing. But soreness is not a growth metric. Soreness is just inflammation and micro damage. You can be extremely sore and barely grow, and you can grow significantly with almost no soreness at all. The actual driver of growth is total weekly volume and how that volume interacts with your protein synthesis window. When you dump 12 sets on chest once a week, you get one enormous growth signal that spikes hard and then fades by Wednesday. For the rest of the week, your chest is doing nothing. It already used its signal. It's just waiting for next Monday. Now, compare that to a completely different approach.
The frequency fix. Training each muscle twice, sometimes 3 times a week, instead of hitting chest with 12 sets once. You hit it with 6 sets twice. Same total weekly volume, roughly the same number of hard sets, but now you're creating 2 growth signals instead of 1. 2 protein synthesis windows instead of 1. 2 opportunities across the week where your chest is actively rebuilding thicker and stronger instead of 1 window and 5 days of dead time. This is the single biggest reason natural lifters training with higher frequency consistently outbuild natural lifters running once-a-week splits at the same weekly volume. It's not about working harder, it's about not wasting the days your muscle isn't growing. But here's the mistake almost every man makes the second he hears train muscles twice a week. He keeps the same 12 sets from Monday and just adds them again on Thursday. Now he's doing 24 sets a week instead of 12. He shows up exhausted, his joints ache. His second session on any given muscle is garbage because he's still fatigued from the first. This is where higher frequency backfires, and it's exactly why this next part matters more than anything else.
Volume redistribution. The fix isn't more volume. It's the same volume spread across more sessions. If you were doing 12 sets for chest once a week, you don't add 12 more. You split that 12 into 2 sessions of 6. 6 hard sets Monday, 6 hard sets Thursday. Your total weekly stimulus stays roughly the same, but now instead of 1 overloaded session followed by 5 days of nothing, you get 2 moderate sessions, each one triggering its own fresh growth window.
Less junk volume per session means each set gets performed with more focus, better form, and closer to true failure. This is the part most men skip. They think frequency means more work. Frequency actually means smarter distribution of the same work. So what does this actually look like on paper? Here's how you restructure an entire week around this principle. Rebuilding the split. The upper-lower framework, 4 days a week, upper body, lower body, lower body, rest the 2 off days wherever your schedule allows. Each upper day hits chest, back, shoulders, and arms. Every lower day hits quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. Each major muscle group gets trained twice across the week instead of once. Push-pull legs twice. If you prefer more variety, a 6-day push-pull leg cycle run twice through the week works even better for frequency. Push day, chest, shoulders, triceps. Pull day, back, biceps. Leg day, quads, hamstrings, glutes. Then repeat the entire cycle again before the week ends. Same muscles, same movement patterns, twice the growth windows.
If you could only train 3 days a week, body sessions solve this automatically. Every session hits every major muscle group with a smaller amount of volume per muscle. 3 sessions a week means 3 growth windows per muscle instead of 1. For a busy man with limited gym days, this is often the single most efficient structure that exists. Now here's the part that determines whether any of this restructuring actually works. The recovery requirement. Frequency only works if recovery keeps up. If you're training a muscle twice a week, but you're still sleeping 5 hours a night and eating like you're still on the once-a-week split, you're going to overreach. More frequency demands more fuel. Protein intake needs to stay around 1 gram per pound of your target body weight, spread across the day so your body actually has the raw material to rebuild twice as often. Sleep becomes non-negotiable because the repair work that turns your training into muscle happens primarily while you're asleep. If you cut the frequency of your training up, but you cut your sleep down, you're sabotaging the exact system you just upgraded. The fatigue management rule. This is why the sets per session matters so much. Going to true failure on every single set twice a week per muscle is a fast way to dig a hole you can't recover from. The fix: save true failure for your final set of each exercise. Keep the earlier sets 1 or 2 reps short. This lets you accumulate the frequency without accumulating a fatigue debt that eventually forces you backward. Here's the part most higher frequency guides completely leave out.
The progression layer. Frequency without progression is still a dead end. Hitting a muscle twice a week, doing the exact same weight, the exact same reps for months, still won't build size. The rule stays the same as it's always been. Every week, something has to get harder. Add weight, add a rep, add a set, slow the tempo. Frequency creates more opportunities to apply that progression because you're touching the muscle twice as often, which means twice as many chances every week to force adaptation instead of once.
The bro split isn't wrong because it's old. It's wrong because it wastes the exact window your muscles need to grow in. Train a muscle once, you get 1 growth window and 5 dead days. Train it twice, same total volume, redistributed, and you get 2 growth windows instead of 1. Upper-lower 4 days a week. Push-pull legs run twice or full body 3 days a week. Keep total weekly volume roughly the same, just split across more sessions. Protect your sleep, hit your protein, save true failure to the final set of each exercise, and keep adding difficulty every single week. Do that for 12 weeks and you'll build more muscle than an entire year of once-a-week bro split training ever gave you. Your body doesn't care what decade the split was invented in. It cares whether you're using the recovery window it gives you or letting it go to waste 5 days out of 7. Stop wasting the window. Start using it. If you've been running a bro split for months and wondering why your lifts haven't moved, drop a comment and tell me which day you're switching first. Upper, lower, push-pull, or full body. If you want the exact rep ranges and exercise selection for a full 12-week frequency-based program, let me know in the comments. That can be the next video. Subscribe if you want training content that's actually built on how muscle works, not just how it's always been done. And send this to the guy still doing a 5-day bro split, wondering why his chest hasn't changed since last year. I'll see you in the next one.